One of the first major shifts for an English speaker learning Mandarin is that you can't count nouns directly. Phrases like 3 books or that car are grammatically incorrect. To solve this, Mandarin uses a special class of words called measure words. Think of them as required unit counters for nouns. English does this occasionally, especially for uncountable nouns. We say a loaf of bread or 3 pieces of paper. The key difference is that Mandarin uses a measure word for nearly every noun, whether it's countable or not. The fundamental pattern is specifier plus measure word plus noun. A specifier is a word that gives information about the noun's quantity or identity. This includes counting numbers like 一, 两, 三, and so on. Remember to use 两 instead of 二 for 2 with a measure word. For example, 三本书, 两辆车. Demonstratives like 这 and 那 are used for pointing out specific items. For example, 这位老师, 那张票. When used in questions, both 几 and 多少 mean how many, but 几 is typically for numbers expected to be under 10, while 多少 is for any amount. For example, 你想要几个? 这里有多少本书? 每 is always followed by a measure word to mean every or each. For example, 每个同学. In 每天, the time word 天 acts as its own measure word. The word 种 is itself a measure word, meaning kind, sort, or type. It follows the exact same patterns we just saw. For example, 这种水果, this kind of fruit. 有几种方法? How many kinds of methods are there? While there are hundreds of measure words, you can get by in daily conversation with a handful of the most common ones. They often relate to the shape or function of the noun. There are times when a measure word is not needed. When you talk about a noun in general, with no specific number. 我买书, 他喜欢猫. With vague quantifiers, 很多人, 一些问题. And just like in English, you don't count water or rice directly. To quantify them, you use a container or unit as the measure word. 一杯水, 一公斤米. In order to learn measure words, do not try to memorize a giant list of measure words. This is inefficient and frustrating. The best way is to learn the measure word together with the noun as a single vocabulary item. Don't just learn that 书 means book. Instead, learn that 一本书 means a book. By doing this, the link between the noun and its classifier becomes automatic. You will gradually build an intuitive sense for which measure words go with which nouns.